GSP had that for a while, like a sports psychologist.
Dude, all the best of the best have that. You know, I work with someone who's in that field. I mentioned him to you like a few times, and literally, he is the best of the best. No joke, dude. The best of the best. The positive reinforcement stuff, awesome. Looking yourself, like believing, and that is a part of it. But a bigger part of it is treating this like a mental gym, which is you got to get the reps in, and we got to work on it in a more scientific way. Like there's a place for the. I'm not saying this negatively, but I'm just gonna throw it into this basket. There's a place for the woo-woo.
Yeah.
You can do it. Like you are strong. You're a leader. You're at your whole mission statement like revised.
Yeah.
There's a place for that. But the truth is the guys who operate at the highest level.
Yeah.
This is not that. A revision that goes into who are you at your best and what happens when you're at your worst, and being able to do the right mental training so that the best version of you in those really high stakes moments comes through. And that demands reps and mental training.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more difficult than just being like,
Yeah.
you're the man.
But I'll tell you what though.
All right, we're filming. No more fucking around.
Oh man, we already broke the swear rule.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful out there, man. The light is great.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Hey, that's cool.
it's shining.
Sun is shining. Something, weather.
It's a song.
It is a song. You ever heard that one? It's like, you'll hear it a lot in bars and stuff. But,
Does it turn into a dubstep song?
could be. Yes, I think that's the guy. How we doing, Max?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Today, our new resolution is to be jujitsu. We need to say that word a bunch of times. We're trying to go in the jujitsu direction. I think I'm super happy to talk about a bunch of stuff. But little boy jujitsu, people want it. And you want me to tell you something on a kind of like on the back of the last episode when we were reviewing that silly
Sam,
man, yeah, Sam, whatever his name is, not
Sam.
like yeah, the Sam, the Instagram guy, let's call him that. I had Emra completely agree with me in the comments and in a DM, and me and Emra are on the same page.
Yeah.
And Lord knows Emra is the bomb.
Dude,
She
Emra's
won
dope,
Euros.
man. I know. Close guard, arm
Epic.
drags.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
dope, man.
Yeah, she's a
Triangles, I think she got in triangle.
She was doing a lot of bow and arrows, I think, from what I
Really?
from the matches.
Well,
that I
the
remember
videos that
watching.
she showed, I think she got like one triangle from close guard and something else like just constantly trying to get that arm drag.
Oh, really?
You didn't see that video?
I'm not 100% sure. I
sent it
watched
to
a
my
bunch of her
friends.
matches. Oh yeah, that's dope. All right, Emra, if you want to know who's
Yeah.
been sharing your stuff,
No, it's me.
it's that guy.
I sent it to my friends in Barbados.
That's epic. Yeah, Emra's the queen, man.
What
She's
like a
awesome.
simple kind of cool game. I mean, I also saw her at in SAU in Ottawa once choke out conscious this poor girl from Mount.
No way, dude. Emra's such a beast. She also broke Sarah, our Sarah, at our
Yeah.
school over here. I think she busted her arm or something like that. Sorry, Sarah. But in their like first match at blue belt against each other, in Sarah's words, she's like, she broke my arm. I was like, damn. But yeah, don't F around with Emra. Sam the whatever guy.
So what does she have to say about Sam?
I mean, I'm gonna butcher it, but at the end of the day, she's just saying, like, you don't have anything positive to add to the equation. It's like, just keep your mouth shut. Like,
You
you're
know what
part
I
of the
hate about that
problem.
though? This Sam guy, has he been consistent with his shit talking for years and years or what?
I think he just recently realized that he can clickbait and talk shit, and in so doing, that it would bring up his followers, which makes perfect sense for him because he's an egomaniac.
It's kind of a shame that these tactics work.
But they do work, yeah, sadly. I mean, I think, oh man, I think the more they are feuding, so the more I hate on him,
Yeah.
probably the more likely this is going to be seen. So it might fuel.
I don't think so, dude. I think that's a bitch move, you know?
Yeah, no, it is. I'm saying, but it's very likely. Dude, that Gordon Ryan and Andre Galvao beef
Yeah.
it really helped get jiu-jitsu like some momentum. Dude, it was such a strong beef. Do you know this story?
Yeah, he slapped him a few times.
Yeah. Like, but dude, even like my brother, who doesn't give a crap about
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, was asking me about it. I was like, damn.
Dude, I'm trying to walk in the light of the Lord, dude. I can't be fucking
Yeah.
trying to talk shit about Sam Gayer in hopes of getting some extra,
extra
you know,
likes and
likes and
views.
followers and stuff. You know
I'm
what I
with
mean?
you, dude, and I
Like,
love that.
You know, like I don't think that's the right thing.
Dude, completely
like-
agree.
and
Has to
like-
be authentic.
Yeah, and like spiritually, I think you're going backwards when you do that. You know, you're probably causing more harm to yourself.
Yeah, harm to yourself, harm to the community at large,
Yeah.
harm to the, you know, like you're upsetting people, and it's like you take pleasure in upsetting people. You're not doing things super
Yeah.
well. I think.
It's a dark place. I just got out of my dark place, dog.
Nice.
I'm not trying to get back in. You know,
Yeah, let's
trying to
stay
take a
out.
little break before I get back.
Yeah, we need a little bit of sunshine on our skin, and then we'll do it.
By the way, you think I can bleach my beard?
That would be epic. You want to go Super Saiyan?
No, because I already have white on my beard. Do you think I
Ah,
can
right.
dye it white like Gordon Ryan?
Yeah, I do think you can do that, and I've seen a video of him where it's like the dye in his beard is so like, I don't know what the best word is here, but it's like toxic.
Yeah.
That he puts like, and he thinks himself to be such a genius. Like he took a water bottle, he cut it so that the end is open, and he put it on in his mouth, kind of like a hose, so that he can breathe right while the person is dyeing his beard because it's so toxic. But
Yeah.
yeah, we can adopt the Gordon Ryan, put a bottle in there and dye it up,
I thought about it. I checked out some YouTube videos.
and you're in.
No, it seems too complicated. I honestly, did you ever see the like Eminem clip, Stan, where
Yeah.
like he like bleaches his hair in
Yeah.
like the
Yeah, the sink.
basement or something, and
Oh.
he just pours bleach on his hair?
Oh, no.
I thought it was gonna be that simple. I'm like, oh, that seems pretty easy. Just fucking put some bleach on
Yeah.
it.
No. We need a professional.
It's too much work.
Yeah.
Owen tapped me yesterday.
Epic.
Yep.
He got you. Oh,
And it
this
was-
is like
it
the
was-
reverse bitch move because now you're giving him the credit.
Yeah, I want to give Owen some
love
credit, and I want to break down the role. What happened in the role?
Talk to me, baby.
You had some good rolls too yesterday. I saw you roll all night.
Yeah, I literally was just drilling. It looks like I'm rolling. But
Okay,
yeah.
so Owen, he was able to stop my passing with like very simple, annoying things. Like he just kept his hand on my knee, and I was like, how the fuck am I not able to figure this out?
Oh man.
And then he was able to get into close guard. And by the way, you know, Owen has that kind of like sporadic energy, and he would say so himself. He has this energy to where when he gets frustrated, he stops doing jiu-jitsu and he just starts going for mad scrambles, and that hasn't always played in his favor.
Yeah.
Last night, I felt that energy, and in my head, I was like, okay, keep the pressure. He's going to tire himself out. He's going to make a mistake, and I'm going to be able to pass and just stay in side control for a while. I felt his energy go up, but he never made that mistake. So he never lost control of his jiu-jitsu. He got me into close guard. He was threatening some stuff the entire time. I eventually got up out of close guard. I tried my passing sequence again. He got me into close guard again, and eventually he got me in a like close guard. Oh, he was going for a lot of punch chokes too.
Oh wow, epic.
So
The punch choke seems to be a vibe lately.
I used to do it about, a few months ago, and it worked. It worked for me, like, you know, on multiple occasions.
Yours was
If
the
you-
best I've ever felt.
If you can, thank you.
But I'm being really honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
If you can manage to get your fist in the guy's throat and then create some distance,
Yes.
then you're good. But like a lot of times, guys see it and they just close that space, and then it's harder to
There's-
get the fist in.
There's something about the way you do it where you understand properly like the overhook grip that's on the collar. Like you understand the direction of the pull of that overhook grip. And you honestly have a big enough fist that it's kind of like it's in the area and it hits right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really nail it. But
But wait a minute.
yes.
So he tried that a couple times, and then he ended up getting me in a close guard shotgun arm bar because
yeah.
he
You had
had
that
the arm, right. So he extended his hips
Yes.
and got my elbow under his hips,
Yes.
and I had to tap.
That's beautiful, man. Good for him.
Yeah,
That's very nice.
Good for Owen. Is he competing?
Yes, he's competing next Saturday. So actually, dude, that is a great little segue here.
Yeah.
Next Saturday, we are going to be doing the pod at SAU. So Carlin's poster that's on that wall that we've showed in some previous episodes. Carlin's fireman, Carlin's.
Yeah.
Carlin's is everywhere.
Yeah.
But we're actually going to be at the event, doing I don't want to say live podcast, but it might be live.
I mean,
at
it
the
won't.
very
It
least,
won't.
we'll
It won't be
record it.
live. We'll be live in front of people. But
Have you ever heard that angry dude? I forget what his name. I think he was on CNN or something. He's like, "We'll do it live."
Yeah.
Who is that guy?
fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it
Just some
live. Fuck it. He
raging.
starts raging, and then the sound engineer is like,
Yeah.
5, 4,
Yeah.
3, and he's still raging. 2, 1, and then he goes right back into character, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Here's a hit from the latest album from
Yeah.
Sting. Take it away." Like the sound
Perfect.
engineer just knows the countdown is gonna bring him back to
Yeah.
normal.
What a professional.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah, Owen, epic. Epic that he got you in that, and he definitely does, and I've said this to him, fall into Hulk mode, and I think that is something that happens especially so in your white belt kind of journey.
Yeah.
You know, then it starts to taper off as you become as you're on your way becoming a blue belt, that starts to taper off.
Yeah.
Where you stop, where you realize, honestly, it's like a selfish need, I think, that pushes that realization, and it tells you, yo, you're not gonna win like this.
Yeah.
You're gonna get more tired. You're gonna get.
He's told me a few times, like, well, once actually, like, by the wall over there, he just came and sat down beside me, and he's like, dude, he doesn't like it about himself, but it's good. You know,
Nobody does. I was the same way.
Yeah. That same energy, if you hone it well, can be good for jiu-jitsu, because there are times like
You need that.
like
rage.
like when you have the grips on the arm and all you have to do is drag it, sometimes you
Hulk
got to use a
mode.
bit of force, you
That's-
know?
Of course, dude.
So if it's in the right places, or like, you know, like fighting for a small thing, that's actually what I told him after our roll, is that you focused on the small fights and you won them. You know,
Beautiful.
it's like he realized that if he just kept his foot on my knee, that I wasn't going to be able to pass, and he didn't let go of that, and that got him into a closed guard.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, man. If he does that this weekend,
Yeah, he'll get some
fuck,
good
who
results.
knows, man? Yeah, he might.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Those
And
are
it-
tough brackets, man. White belt,
Oh,
adult.
dude, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's like the most stacked bracket. And you never know with white belts. Like, I'm not saying this to put fear in anybody, but on the topic, you never know. You never know what is the one thing they know. Like, it's the freaking weirdest thing. It's like there's Ulysses, who you might or might not know because he's mostly a morning and noon guy.
I think I probably don't.
He was actually here yesterday,
Okay.
earlier in the night, but he was no-giing it. Dude, Ulysses is a white belt. He's incredible. Honestly, incredible. Like, he has so many submissions, and you're like, okay, I'm rolling with a white belt, and then, boom, buggy choke. It's like, damn, bro, what is the one thing you know? For some of them, it's the buggy choke, and then you're like, how the hell do you know this? And then they catch you in it because you're caught off guard. You're
Yeah.
like, there's no way he knows a buggy choke. Ulysses knows the damn buggy choke. He also knows, like, he knows all the submissions. Honestly, like, for a white belt, it's shocking. But you just never know with a white belt. It could be a straight ankle lock that they just honed in on and they're just
Yeah.
really good at it. It could be a triangle. It could be a freaking buggy choke. It could be this random thing that you're just not ready for, and then bam. Obviously, they telegraph it and they don't do a super well job, but sometimes, dude, the freaking one dude got me in a go-go plata. I was like, how the hell do you know this? You know, like, this is kind of silly. But they know it, and if they're in that specific context, they can hit it. And
I feel like I want to try that sometimes, but I always feel like it's so disrespectful to stick your foot in the person's face like that,
your
bro.
knee is gonna go plata.
Yeah, I can do it.
You can go plata.
Yeah, because it's the same setup I do for my omoplatas from closed. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking your lack of ACL and
No, I think it can do that motion.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, one way to find out. Get in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, yeah, super cool, honestly. And yes, it's super wonderful to see people change their start on the path towards changing, I think that's a beautiful thing. It's like, hey, I know what's up. I know that this rage, anger, I call it like Hulk mode, it's not going to get me where I ultimately want to be. And I think it's super important to realize that and to think to yourself like, okay, I don't like this. I don't like how it makes me feel, and I don't like the result of it. I'm gonna have to change. And when you start seeing that in white belts, like it's this weird surrender that I feel they do that is super powerful. And you could feel it in those conversations. Like I'm sure you felt it with Owen when you had that conversation where it's like, it's enough of a, I don't want to say burden, but it weighs on them heavily enough that they're willing to surrender to the
You know what he
new
said?
solution.
Actually, he said like I was rolling with a white belt who was less good than me, and I felt like he was getting the upper hand, and then I sort of like stopped doing jiu-jitsu, and I think he said like I know that I'm better than this, so it's actually stopping him from doing what he knows, which is good jiu-jitsu, you know?
And he is like as soon as this can really, like he's in the beginning now of pushing
Yeah.
it down. As soon as he can get there, like you were saying before, like when he needs to call on that athletic ability and like that.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, it's funny because at the opposite end of our biggest character defects are probably our greatest strengths, you know? Like if we can just hone those and maybe not own them, but like the thing that you said, like surrender to them, on the other side of that, I think is like a big surprise, you know? Like I don't even think we can really understand
Agreed.
what there is there, you know?
Agreed.
Because it's not us trying to manifest it, it's us letting it come. So how can you know something that you're not trying to create yourself? Does that make sense?
To me, it does, because like I've had this experience, and 100%, it's literally to you, because it's on the, like not you specifically, but to the person who is trying to see what's on the other side of that door, it is the complete unknown to them, because they've never seen that side, because they have
Yeah.
such a reaction.
Yeah, like a grasp on wanting to control the thing
Yes.
that they honestly have no control over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Owen.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you for
Owen.
not breaking my arm too.
Yeah, keeping
And he
him-
was very humble and respectful after he got the
keeping him
tap.
safe. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I got tapped a few times last night. There are nights where I don't get tapped at all. I got tapped a few times last night, but it also opened me up to tapping more people last night. So it's kind of this thing like, I got some fucking cool shit last night too. Like stuff that I
ninja
don't
rolling?
know. Kind of, yeah. I got like, I went for omoplata.
Damn, bro.
Into a triangle.
You a ninja now?
Yeah, I mean,
Omoplata, some ninja stuff.
a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And arm triangles from Mount. I'm not gonna try to go to S Mount anymore.
You know, I had that experience as well. You're gonna put it on the shelf for
Yeah.
like whatever months, maybe a year, and then you'll come back to it.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll come
Possibly.
back to it when other parts of your game, like especially maintaining the mount,
Yeah.
have come back.
I actually
come
got
around.
into like a technical mount last night, and I was able to hold that better. So now what I'm starting to realize, just like when you're trying to hold someone down in side control, right? You're in side control, you got to switch hips, you got to go to north-south, you got to move back to side. It's the same thing with mount. I'm starting to realize now that when they bump, I have to not try to hold them down with my body weight. I actually have to move my body, get into a technical mount, you know, and then get my knee on their back. And if they gain that again, go back into a high mount and wait for them to move a bit, you know, not be so hard-headed in trying to control them and trying to keep their shoulders down all the time, because most of the time I just get an arm cut and then they roll over and I just fucking flop over like a
You're like a dead fish,
like a dead fish.
flippity floppity.
Yeah, I had a dog in my mind, but it didn't fit.
Oh
It
my
did, yeah.
God,
A
dogs!
cocker spaniel for some reason. I don't know why.
That's some wild stuff.
The ears maybe.
I
don't
love
know.
those ears flopping
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, listen, it makes perfect sense, and this is honestly, literally part of the trajectory in terms of like, I don't want to say mastering, but like towards mastery of that position. This is exactly it.
Yeah.
It starts off with always getting rolled over, because you're trying to be a little bit too tight with your crossface and your underhook. Then you start realizing like you can actually change the angle of your hands. You can be a little less
Yeah.
pinny, like a little less static energy and a little bit more dynamic. And we said this on one of the previous pods where, you know, John Danaher says, and I know some people love and hate him, but this is an undeniable fact if you do enough jiu-jitsu. Like,
What a dork that guy, bro.
you think he's dork mode?
I think he's just a little bit of a weirdo. Like he might be good.
Oh, dude, a little bit. He's the definition of weirdo. Bro, he gives knives to people when he graduates them. Like, he borderlines on psychopath, literally. But he's a genius. You can't take that away from him. I'm capable of compartmentalizing things and being like, hey, you are a genius in
Yeah, for
jiu-jitsu
sure.
and you're a nut job
Yeah.
probably in
Yeah,
life.
for sure, dude.
But anyways, he was just saying, just to finish that thought, was that it's movement that creates pins. And it's not like just deciding at one point to be heavy in one particular position. You have to have movement.
Yeah.
So you're just picking up on those movements from mount now. You have them in side control.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll pick up the same version of those movements in mount, and you'll be able to maintain it better.
It's good. It's good fun.
Yeah, it is good fun.
Arm triangles from mount. It was actually Willis who told me
Dude,
that's what he goes for.
he's a bomb at that. Again, that is a Danaher principle, which is like the first kind of horn of the attacks from mount is always arm triangle for him and his guys.
Really?
Yep. Katakatame. He loves saying
What?
that Japanese shit.
What a fucking geek, bro.
Yeah.
No one understands that shit.
But dude, he has some wild stories. Like sometimes like the Danaher stories that comes through kind of like the grapevine of people who have trained with him like at one point or another. Dude, this guy is a character. Like he's nuts. Did you ever hear that one that's floating around YouTube where like he broke somebody's arm who was being like obnoxious with him in a roll?
Yeah.
And then he just walks into his office and kind of sits there. And then somebody like comes in and is like, hey man, we really need to call like an ambulance or something. And he's like, what's up, buddy? He's literally a psychopath.
Bro.
Oh, that's good. All right, Max.
Yep.
Owen, congrats. Who else? You had some good rolls. You tapped some people.
Owen, congrats.
SAU, we're
for
going to be
tapping
doing
me. Eamon
live
had
event.
a good roll too.
Eamon is a monster as well, dude.
Yeah.
Rolling with him is soon to be off my list.
I got some paper cutter chokes. I got a triangle and I got a omoplata.
Beautiful.
And I think that's all I got yesterday. But you know.
So you had fun too.
Yeah, dude, I had so much fun. It was so cool yesterday, man. I don't know why. Like the vibe was just good. I kind of rolled with everyone. I wasn't trying to just like choose my rolls and all that. And
That's nice, man. Good for
yeah,
you.
yeah, it was super fun. How
That's super
about
fun.
you? What was you? You just drilled?
I
saw you
drilled,
roll
man.
though.
No, zero. I just literally drilled and I helped out Osama because he's going to be competing on.
You showed him a punch choke, I think.
Yes, dude. That's what I was like. That's why when you said that, I was like, I think that's like going around because he was like, I was like, what's your go-to from close guard? He's like, oh, punch choke. I was like, punch choke. It's like, all right, man, we go skip all the beginner stuff like triangles, omoplatas, and arm bars.
Honestly, dude, the punch choke is actually simpler than all those other three moves.
You know what it is? It's like, as
It's controlled. You don't have to open up. You're actually closing in.
dude, you understand it very well, and it's amazing. But as vulgar, if I can use that word, as vulgar as that choke is, it still does demand like some precision in certain areas. So it's like a mix of like precision and vulgarity, and it's only when you know how to kind of like tie those two things together can you really hit that choke. But otherwise, you kind of look insane. Like you're like, holding on to this dude's neck and you're literally punching his neck. Like, so like a lot of times I guess people kind of like, if they don't have that precision of like the direction of the pull on the collar and honestly knowing exactly where to put their fist and how to kind of extend away so that it really drives, like you just look insane. But like, I was going through Osama's game plan with him, and he mentioned punch choke, and I was like, all right, I guess it's punch choke, and we went through it, and honestly, man, I'd love it if he can hit that. Sorry, if he can hit that in the competition on Saturday. I'd be super proud of him. Anyway, so I drilled a little bit with Willis. We did some spider guard stuff, which is something that's on my radar now that I'm trying to do, but wow, I am a beginner at some of these movements. Like, I have to really spend the time there. And then I did a little bit of time with Osama, and then I just kind of a little bit of time with you, but that was it. I didn't have any real roles. Chatted a little
Are you
bit.
taking creatine, dude?
I started I did it like when we bought the
Yeah.
creatine together when we went to the store. I did like 2 or 3 days, and then I left for Toronto for some work.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, I was like, I'll do this when I start working out. And now it's just sitting there. How do you feel about it?
Maybe it could help.
Oh, right, because of my
'Cause
my
your body's all
injuries.
fucked up,
Yeah,
man.
I'm all fucked up.
You know, like maybe a bit of water retention could create some cushion. I don't know. You know, I'm not a scientist or anything.
We
but
need all that science stuff.
Yeah.
Owen keeps talking about this peptides. We need some
Peptides. Yeah. Peptides. Pepto-Bismol.
Hey, if
maybe.
anybody knows anything about peptides in the comments,
Yeah.
can we have some of that? Me and Max are willing to take anything.
And can we just instead drink Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah, Pepto-Bismol. Man,
It's got the right letters at the front. Pep.
Pep. I like Pep.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a thing of this generation where it's like you have a hangover, and then the next day you literally have the Pepto-Bismol bottle and you're drinking it like you're drinking a Gatorade.
That's gross, bro.
Yeah. I'll say
It's
that.
like the pink stuff, right?
Dude, it's the pink like melted bubble gum, like, and it just tastes like butt.
Just drink some water, man.
I don't know.
I have to drink water, actually.
Yeah. All right. Well, Max, while you drink your water, and we are on the topic of jiu-jitsu today, we are going to go through some white belt questions. And for our homies, oh yeah, shout out to Chewy. Thanks for the dog socks. For our homies, we have a couple of questions. Let me just remind myself. You have a couple in mind, I think, or maybe they're on your phone.
Do you have one in mind?
Sorry, I think I had one that I really wanted to go through, but it's just not coming to. Actually, no, I don't have one that's coming through my mind. It's the question that you mentioned to me, and I was like, oh man, I have no idea. I don't remember when you said it just earlier.
Yeah.
I was like,
This
I
is
have
from
no
this is
idea.
from MMKKJJ.
Minjay, our other hero.
MMJJKK.
Have you ever rolled with Minj?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's a monster, dude.
Yeah.
Monster. He's just for context. He's, I don't know. He's maybe 130 pounds of just athletic energy. He should have been a gymnast. Even the way he tapes
Yeah.
his wrists, he's so flexible. I just give
Yeah,
up with that guy.
he actually really showed me how to deal with spider guard for my game, because he played it a lot. Spider guard for my game will still give me a lot of trouble, but he was like the first layer of me kind of like having to deal with it. And
I love that kid, and he competes a lot and he wins. I'm super proud of Minj. He's a really quality jiu-jitsu player. He listens, he trains a lot, he asks the right questions, he's succinct in his questions. You give him the reply and he applies it. He's dope, man.
Yeah.
So what's his question?
yeah, he's gonna go far in life, I think.
Yeah, dude. And again, like he competed the last couple of times he competed, gold medal. He's a monster.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that he's competing and winning and all that, because his question is, I have one simple question, he says.
Simple.
How do you handle anxiety/nervousness in competition? What mindset should I have in competing?
Man.
So, you know, it's funny because we both competed a bit. I don't think we're like major competitors. Maybe
No.
Emra would be like the
Dude,
best person to answer.
Max.
You were thinking that?
Bro, I was gonna cut you off and say, can I phone a friend and can it be Emra? She is literally
Yeah.
the answer for this question.
Yeah.
And I hope that she's gonna comment. I'm gonna turn this into a clip, or one of us, you're probably gonna turn it into a clip, so that Emra can give us her best response. And yeah, I mean, she does work with someone, so anyways, yes, Emra would be the best. But Minjay's question,
You work with someone for what?
she does work with somebody to understand this better.
Get out of here,
Yes.
bro.
Yeah, she's shouted her out a few times on
Like,
Emra's, like a performance coach.
yeah. GSP had that for a while, like a sports psychologist.
Dude, all the best of the best have that. I'm telling you, man, the best of the best. I know it's like a knee-jerk reaction to be like, meh.
Honestly, dude, they either have that or they have God. You know, the
Which
whole...
is the ultimate performance psychologist. Think about it.
Yeah. You got to have a power greater than yourself to guide you in what you want to do in life, man. If you just rely on yourself and your own will, it's not enough, man. You're you're gonna crash and burn, I think.
I believe that.
Because all of the responsibilities of your failures end up falling on you. You know?
I do.
It's too much to bear. But if you have a sports psychologist or some type of like, like a faith in a higher power, at least you can go back to something. Like there's like a drawing board kind of aspect that you can kind
Well,
of
is
fall
it safe
back
to
on.
say that in both those scenarios, when you don't know how to be and you don't have the solution, they're offering the guidelines
Yeah.
in both those scenarios? I work with someone who's in that field. I've mentioned him to you like a few times, and literally, he is the best of the best. No joke, dude. The best of the best. Like right now, we are February of 2025. I think next weekend is the Super Bowl. Dude, both the NFL teams in the Super Bowl, just so happens, he's worked with. So
Both of them?
Both of them. So, yeah.
How does that affect his betting odds?
Well, I don't know if he's a betting man, but it's like his impact. Obviously, we're not going to give him all the credit, but his impact was with those two NFL teams, and now those two NFL teams are in the finals of the Super Bowl. This is like some undeniable effect here.
Yeah.
This is a science when it comes to this, and there are tools, methodologies that you can implement towards getting a better and a stronger mindset.
It's funny. The first, if you guys want to hear GSP talk about this,
He's the man.
he was his first episode on JRE. He talked about his sports psychologist and like the things that he does, and a lot of it is corny, but corny works when it comes to that stuff. Like he would say things like he would look at himself in the mirror and do the positive reinforcement stuff in the mirror. You know what I mean? It's super simple sometimes, but also more complex than that. But yeah, man, fuck, man, Amra has a person, eh?
Yeah, no, Emra is the bomb, dude, and she really does. That person that she works with, like one time, I think we were together at a tournament. I don't remember where, dude. It might have been in Toronto. It might have been for the IBJJF.
IBJJF, yeah, she was there. I remember you guys fucking talked forever.
We talked for an hour, like 2 hours maybe. And no joke, it was on this topic. And she was sharing with me like a bunch of her stuff. Like I won't share it because I'd love it if one day like she could. So I don't want to steal her thunder. But I will say, because I work with
dude, you can say it. You're not going to say it as
Well,
good as her.
I have my own experiences that I would rather share, and like she can like in working with my buddy who's in that whole Super Bowl scenario, he will say things like, what, the positive reinforcement stuff, awesome, looking yourself, like believing, and that is a part of it, but a bigger part of it is treating this like a mental gym, which is you got to get the reps in, and we got to work on it in a more scientific way. Like there's a place for the I'm not saying this negatively, but I'm just gonna throw it into this basket. There's a place for the woo woo.
Yeah.
You can do it. Like you are strong. You're a leader. You're in your whole mission statement like revised.
Yeah.
There's a place for that. But the truth is the guys who operate at the highest level.
Yep.
This is not that.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a mental gym, and the mental gym involves mental reps, and the way that you get in those mental reps is by looking at the scenario, looking at how you've reacted, understanding who you are and what you are at your best, and the things that are not your best. And there's like a revision that goes through kind of like that whole process. This is like, I'm dumbing it down like crazy, but like a revision that goes into who are you at your best and what happens when you're at your worst, and being able to do the right mental training so that the best version of you in those really high stakes moments comes through. And that demands reps and mental training.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more difficult than just being like, you're the man.
But I'll tell you what though, in terms of praying and like the type of praying that I do in the morning, it's the same thing. I'm setting my intentions for my day every day.
Beautiful.
And most of the time, it's the same thing that I want. So it's like, it is reps. You're just doing reps, you know, like you're saying like, you know, like, like this is what I want to be today, for today. And then tomorrow, you're just going to be like, hey, guess what? I just want to be this again, you know?
Yeah.
And then and then you like go through your like shortcomings. Like, hey, you know, like yesterday, I wasn't what I said that I wanted to be because of this shortcoming, but today is a new day. Let's try to do it again. So in a way, it
You are
is just
doing that
reps.
work.
It's just reps.
Yeah, dude. In a very
But
beaut-
in like a religious sense, what you're doing is that you're turning it over to a power greater than yourself. So you're not trying to will this into your own life. You're calling upon a power greater than yourself to help you
Yes,
do
on
this.
that
So you're
journey.
like, yeah, you're like trying to turn it over to.
That's wonderful, man.
Yeah.
And that makes me super happy for you. Like,
Thank you, bro.
It's amazing, dude. And it is. You're right. That is a literal. You're
But it
you're
is
getting
reps
the
because,
reps, dude.
because you have to do it
Yeah,
every day.
and every day you're
If-
revising the previous.
If you don't, yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
if you don't do it every day, and if you don't check in with yourself on your shortcomings,
Mm-hmm.
then you're throwing a drop of water in the ocean. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
100%. And that is so. Tying this into kind of Minjay's question. Well, this is a.
Let's read that question again, dude.
Well,
we went so far off, dude.
Actually, I don't
We
think
always do this, dude.
I don't think we went that far off, man. I
The-
think
yeah, but
intuitively, like
If he's watching now,
Dude.
he's like, when are you gonna say the word fucking nervousness?
Well, here's what it's coming down to is that this is a facet through which we can look at performance, because Minjay is asking a question about performance. He's saying, hey, and honestly, in how you ask the question, there is also the answer. So he is saying, like, how do I avoid anxiety and nervousness?
How do I handle
How do I
anxiety and
handle
nervousness in competition?
Anxiety. The truth is, and I'm going to steal from my friend again, he will say, and I love this statement that he says. I don't know, for whatever reason, dude, like it always, like, he says it and it hits me in this funny way. Where he's like, you can't have high stakes and no pressure. You can't. Those two things cannot live together.
Right.
And the reason why people want high stakes is because they want what comes from the
Yeah.
victory of high stakes.
Yeah.
And so you believing,
Which is normally not even what they think it is.
what do you mean by that?
Like, the victory of high stakes, I think we not in like a sexual way, but I think we like pervert what that means to us. Like, we imagine like money and cars and like mansions and everything you want, but what you actually get is like personal growth.
Yes, of course.
You know?
Yes, yes, 100% agreed. And so the statement again is you can't have high stakes and not have pressure.
Yeah.
If you're not experiencing the pressure, it's because the stakes are honestly not high enough. So
Dude, I feel like I'm so ready for life right now, though.
I love it, man. I love it. And honestly, to Minjay's question, it should be you have to first accept,
Yeah.
hey, you want high stakes, you wanna be in the finals of, like any tournament. Dude, I don't care. You're at the finals in a tournament, there's a bunch of people watching you. There's some stakes there. You wanna win, you want this. You're in that moment, you're gonna have pressure. And honestly, if you don't want that
Wow,
pressure, bro, and this is again words from my friend, you're sitting at the wrong table. He'll say this, you are sitting at the wrong table if you cannot, you can't have high stakes and not have pressure. You just can't.
You know what? Also, if you can show up in those situations with that pressure and sit at the table and accept how you're feeling and still staying in the fire, like,
That's what it is.
hats off to you. Like, you're a standout human being.
Absolutely.
You're an honorable, person with integrity. If
Absolutely.
you can hold that and remain respectful, polite, ready, focused, not lose your cool. Like, dude, that's such a good feeling to be able to do that.
But yet so difficult because the truth is, you will feel that. There's this episode that comes to my mind. You were talking about
GSP?
What the hell, bro?
Yeah. Well,
Dude, you're a ninja.
I only talked about.
Yeah, okay, but still, it was quick.
Yeah.
GSP was on JRE, and he was asking him a little bit about, like, maybe not in these exact words. He was like, hey, do you like fighting? He's like, do I like fighting? He's like, no. He's like, I'm in a cage with another guy who's trying to kill me. Like, I hate it.
Why is there light red?
That is a great question.
And things aren't going up and down.
I mean, my mark is green, and we're gonna pray to the Lords that this is working out. But
It's not.
why would you feel it isn't? I'm gonna give it a quick check as I continue to say that George St. Pierre,
Because there's normally blue lines that go up and down to say that it's catching our.
we have to believe.
You have a red light.
We have to believe, Max.
It's not working.
I mean, we're gonna keep going. You have a red light?
No, I have a green light.
I mean, I have a green light.
Oh, you have a green light.
Max, we leave our faith in the Lord for now.
It's not good. We're gonna have to do it again, I think.
I mean, who knows? Do we keep going?
I
Get the reps.
Let's hold on. Let's pause and.
I'm fired up, Max. I can't just
I know,
pause.
but it's supposed to. Was I supposed to press a button for it to work?
No, I don't think so. You're supposed to just plug her in.
Motherfucker, bro.
MFers.
All right. I mean, you can keep on talking if you want. Check 1 2. What's this button?
I don't know. Maybe you're just on a different setting, bros. We gotta go with it. Don't be too
All right.
don't be too hard on it.
We might have
Look.
to record another podcast.
It's all good. We get another rep.
Yeah.
GSP was like, hey, I hate it.
Yeah.
And he would be like, I don't know if he asked him in these exact words, but he's like, does it get easier when you're kind of, he's like,
No, it gets harder.
it gets harder, dude. I think it, and that is what my friend would also tell me. He's like, the thing is, with high stakes scenarios and people who want to achieve at the highest level, is they're going to constantly be putting themselves in the next level of stakes. It never gets easier. So, Midge, part of this, honestly, is accepting that if you want high stakes, it comes with pressure.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that we need to completely. What I'm trying to say is that you're never going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And it would be silly to think that you do. Because if you do get rid of it, the truth is you're probably going to be in a situation that doesn't challenge you at all.
Yeah.
And that's not a good situation for you and your growth. So, as corny as this sounds, it's not a question of actually.
It's probably a sign that you're in the right place. And if you've prepared properly, then you shouldn't be crushed by that nervousness and anxiety. It should actually be, like a signal that you are about to do what you've prepared yourself to do. So it's not a negative. That's how I think you would handle it.
Max, you're dude, without saying it, like because I know the theory through my buddy, you're spot on.
And I think it's also about preparedness. I have a friend recently who was telling me, like, when you want something in life but you don't yet have it, you can start by preparing yourself to have it, right? So, like, if you want a gold medal but you haven't got one yet, well, start preparing for it, right? Like, kind of be open that you will get it, and you start, like, preparing, like training. Like, I think if you have the right foundation, you can handle, like, so much pressure, you know what I mean? Like, if you're kind of, like, stable within yourself. Is that?
100, dude. 100. The thing is, in those scenarios, and it's kind of you're saying it, and now if I can put like a methodology to it, somewhat.
Do it.
It's that you kind of have these two voices in your mind. And one voice, if you let it, can ramp up the anxiety and can ramp up the pressure. And there's another voice, the voice of preparedness, that can help not get rid of,
Yeah.
but keel you up and maintain you, and so that you can
Yeah.
focus, our key word,
Focus, yeah.
so that you can focus on the task at hand. Now, if you give too much, if your training has led you to have an inability to focus on the task at hand and how you show up best, and you allow the other voice to run rampant and wild, your anxiety and your stress will go through the roof. But that is a lack of control and training that only comes with the reps. But again, the
Mental
stakes are
reps.
all mental
Those are
reps.
mental reps.
They are. It's a mental
Dude,
gym.
it's so, man, I wonder if Emra's going to be like, yeah, that's kind of it. You think it's like a universal kind of language, this sports psychology thing?
I mean, now the science is getting more and more specific. It is still, again, all of this is coming from my homie, but it is still a wild, wild west right now.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people who claim a lot of different things, and part of it is kind of getting rid of the people who are like, hey, you want to change your thing, just kind of say like, I am the best in a mirror. That shit's not going to honestly work. And it's not that it's not going to work. It
It's
might
a
be
part
a
of it,
stepping stone.
but it's
it
not-
might
it's-
be,
it's
but
not the
that's
entire
not,
thing.
That's
Yeah,
not the thing. Especially when it comes to performance in high stakes scenarios.
yeah.
That's not going to stop those. Like the stress, like I put you in a cage at the UFC main event, bro.
Did you ever
And it's part of it.
get your hands on, dude, I had a friend, man. Fuck. There's some real nutty shit out there, bro.
What do you mean?
I had a friend, he was a ex-Jehovah's Witness, and I don't know if you've been in some type of a culty community thing before, if you're just more gullible.
Of course I have.
No,
I do jujitsu.
Yeah, sure. No, but I mean, like, I don't know that, like, if you're in, let's say, a large group of people, that everybody needs to believe the same thing in order for the group to work. If you become, like, more gullible to, like, ideas. But anyways, this guy had a tape, and it was, like, made for salespeople to, like, attract money.
Oh boy.
Did you ever hear any of that stuff, bro?
I mean, it's all over the internet. But yes.
Oh
like,
my God, it was so funny, man. Like, they would like sing about like there was a song that was like, I'm a money magnet, money loves me.
it rhymes.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And like, so like, let's say you're in like a sales team or something, to get primed up in the morning before you go out and do your sales job.
Yes.
You would like be in a room with a whole bunch of other guys who are trying to
Yes.
accomplish the same thing, and you
Yes.
would like sing these songs together.
I get
It's actually kind of like church. It's church for salespeople.
I get it.
And they're trying
I've
to
seen those
attract money.
scenarios. Yeah.
Isn't it? It's nuts,
Yes.
bro. It's so fucking funny, man.
As funny
But
as
that seems like that's the woo-woo part without the training.
yes.
Isn't that what that seems like?
Well, listen, you rightfully said like there's like a place for this kind of stuff. It's just when it gets, I think like you just see it and you're like, oh wow, this is silly. But ultimately, like if we strip away the words and we strip away everything, the people are trying to put themselves
it's about energy.
in the right energy.
Yes,
you know,
I know,
because
I
honestly,
get it.
and this is the thing. Like I've been in those kind of sales meetings
Yeah.
where I've seen these interactions. I'm not against it. It is, for lack of a better word, cringy.
It's cringy and corny
And
if you're not in that culture.
that
Dude,
culture,
he was
yes.
playing the video in his car, and I was just looking at him like,
I don't know. what to do
last week we were listening to gangster rap. Like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this shit, bro?
Yeah, I know it's wild, but there is like the greater point, like if we pull it out, and well, I mean, I'll just say it as it is. Sales is a transfer of energy.
Yeah.
And if you are not in the right energy, honestly, like you can't sell anything. So, and it can be sensed. And so whatever it is, whatever woo-woo thing that they're like singing about, you know, like if it puts them in a good place,
Yeah.
that is like the effect that it's supposed to
Fuck,
have,
bro.
you know.
You
But
know
it
what's
is kind
crazy?
of
I'm
cringe and funny.
actually like, I'm actually open-minded to this fucking bullshit now.
Dude, it's
What's
there's-
happening to me, bro?
a couple of things. Like, you feel like this is going to grow you, and so you're open to the experience. And you also, kind of like Owen, when he had that conversation with you up against the wall, you don't like whatever it is that you don't like. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, I don't want this, so I'm open to this other thing. And it seems as if the people who are,
It seems like it's too happy. It's too corny. I don't want to turn into like a corny fucking dork. You know what I mean?
well, I mean, it depends how you view anything. Like, that's a
Anyways,
subjective
how
question.
how does that relate to training in jiu-jitsu though? I don't think it does.
Well, again, for me, it's
Because that's the thing, dude. There is an amount of self-belief when you compete in a combat sport, but I don't think it comes so much from like corniness, right? I think it comes more from like pushing yourself through hardship, which I don't think some corny money loves me type of jingle that you can play in your head as someone's trying to choke you is going to get you past, you know, like defending a choke or something. You know what I mean?
I get it, but it's the mental association that you have with whatever the corny statement is or whatever the non-corny statement is. Have you ever heard a song and it right away initializes a sense or a feeling in you?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it could be the corniest song or
It's
the
true.
saddest song or the whatever song. Dude, for some people in some eras, it could have been like in
Yeah.
the 40s, and they were like, oh yeah, I feel it in my soul. You know, so whatever's being said, whatever, it's how it leaves you feeling. It's the energy that it leaves you feel. And that's the association that people are making when
Damn,
they
dude.
have those moments. And so it is like a kickstart. The kickstart is like, hey, can you have that dump of whatever hormone that song is creating or that chant is creating or that statement is creating or that, like, can you have that, and can that kind of battle the effects of like the cortisol, which is like the stress hormone that's coming into your blood, so that you can now be a little bit more even keel, so that we can get you to focus on the things you need to
Yeah,
focus
God
on, so
damn
that
it.
you can do what you have to do right now in this moment. Because if you're focused on that, you're not focused on this. And my friend will say this often. He's like, hey, this is a question. Man, it's crazy. Focus. He doesn't say the word focus, but it is a question of focus. Where you put your energy is what you're going to kind of get. So it could be the Kickstarter that you need to-
Self-belief is actually kind of corny. I think you can't believe in yourself and not be a little corny.
Yeah, you're right, dude.
Like you just need to accept that, like, you know, it's not, cause like isn't like dark shit kind of always
you're
cooler,
so
dog?
right. You're so right. Dude, everything that you're saying, yes, dark stuff is definitely cooler. Have you ever heard of A-Rod? Alex Rodriguez for the New York
football
Yankees?
player?
No, baseball player.
Okay.
Top guy. Dude, if you go home and you just find like videos about this guy's
He's corny.
corny. He has like, what's that animal that's half horse, half him? Like
Senator.
a centaur or whatever, mint. But dude, he has like giant paintings of it. He's so
Of himself?
Of himself. There's this TV show on Apple
Ah,
TV.
bro.
You know the Apple TV show?
No.
Ted? I watched the first season, which is super rare for me. Ted Lasso. This guy, dude, you should watch that show. You're gonna hit moments of cringe and a moment, but it's such a good show, man.
It's a comedy show.
No, I mean, I guess there's a lot of comedy and it's very funny. Dude, this show is so bomb. The guy, it's like this, like, I think he's a soccer coach. No, sorry. I think he's a,
It's a sitcom though. It's
a TV show. Yeah,
it's not a documentary.
no, it's a show. It's this dude, Ted Lasso, and he's like an American dude. I'm just going to give like the little, because I think it really applies. And he's like a coach for like, I think like a football team in the US. And like this kind of like mid-level soccer team. I don't know if you know how like how soccer works in Europe. Like you can either be in the Premier League, which is the top league, but there are a bunch of teams underneath.
Yeah.
And like those teams underneath, if they win enough championships, can bump themselves up into the Premier League through their wins.
It's like IBGGF, right? You gotta like get points throughout the year to go to Worlds.
Yeah, I mean,
No?
literally, it's like the best team
bad.
in a certain league
Yeah.
can now jump up to the next higher league.
Cool.
You know, so anyways, and the owner of the team, which is kind of like in the mid level or something like that, wants the team to bomb. So hires Ted Lasso, who's like a little leagues coach for like kids in a football, not even the same sport. Like from football to soccer, he hires him to be the coach of the team. But he is such an optimist. Him and his assistant coach, bro. The assistant coach is like a super nerd who's like autistic, literal, and it's just like he always like, yes, coach. And he's like, and they come into this thing and they know nothing about soccer, and they're dealing with all these pure soccer characters, and always the best player in the team on that show. This is the point, is an insane cringe guy who believes himself and who talks like he literally is Jesus. Literally. Like, when he walks into the room, like he's as corny can be. And they're basing this person, no joke, on the reality of the story. And Alex Rodriguez, this baseball player, is insane, that guy. Dude, you walk into his place, you think he is the Messiah. Like, he's got these like paintings of him as a minotaur, and the way that he talks apparently is insane, and he's super cringe. But I think what I'm trying to get to is that at the highest level, the highest of the highest, the best soccer players in the world, the best baseball players in the world,
They're all corny ass motherfuckers.
like some of them are there is a version of this person who is so corny and so insane that it literally, they walk around like they are literally Jesus. And in the Ted Lasso show, there's a character that is literally that, and he is the best. It's quite funny. So there has to be something to it. You're right.
I mean, yeah, it's so funny, bro. Like, why is all the cool shit?
Corny?
No, not corny.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right, exactly.
Why is all the cool shit dark? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, why is all the cool music like fucking guys who ended up committed suicide or?
Yeah, it's wild.
Or,
you're right.
That's weird, bro.
Yeah. I think like the energy that's felt on both ends of those spectrum is real. You know? It's like the Star Wars stuff, you know? Like you can choose the energy, and it leads to kind of both. You know what I mean? Yin and yang, kind of like dark energy and like optimist energy. Like I think that there's beauty in both those energies. Because dude, like a GSP, a Messi, a Ronaldo, dude, they are that like happy-go-lucky energy. GSP is the happy-go-lucky energy.
Yeah.
And he achieved at the highest level.
He's the best.
The best. And like you look at him and you're like, dude, you're
You know,
awesome.
you know who's another dude that's like that? There's Dominic Cruz, man. Every time I hear him talk about some stuff, I'm always like, Jesus, man,
You're the man.
This guy is actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Well, I mean, listen, let's wrap this up for Minge.
Yeah.
Minge. Go ahead, Max.
You're the man.
Great synopsis. You're winning. The truth is, Minge, the quicker you accept that you cannot have high stakes and no stress, the better you're going to become. Ultimately,
And if you've built a foundation within yourself to be confident, then you should be able to handle any of that. It just means that you're at the right place, dude.
That's a fair statement. If you're not feeling those things, you're not at the right place for your growth. So, if you want to keep growing, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable literally constantly.
But you got to be sure that you got the right foundation, man, because if you're throwing yourself in the fire and you're not wearing a fire suit, that's a stupid analogy, but like if you're throwing yourself in the fire and you don't have a foundation, then you're just going to crash and burn, and that's going to suck. So just be sure that you do those mental reps before, you know, be prepared. You can handle anything if you're prepared.
Absolutely. And it's good to feel that. It's good to feel nerves. Like, it's good to feel pressure. Like, you need that as well. If you don't, I've seen this version of people where they show up to a competition and they're apathetic almost. That doesn't lead to the best result.
It's almost like you're setting yourself up to not care when you lose, when you're like that.
Right. Which is
You're
a
like, "Oh,
cop-out.
I didn't care anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I didn't even prepare.
I don't go eat my oatmeal after. I like oatmeal.
You like oatmeal?
What kind of loser likes oatmeal?
Right?
Someone who doesn't win at competition.
Poor. That goopy shit.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that. So that's that, Max.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hope that all our guys kind of find a way to accept that there will be pressure, accept that there will be stress, know that you can't give that voice too much space, and come back to, hey, what is it that when I'm at my best, how do I show up and what do I do? And if you can shift your focus towards that while still just acknowledging the pressure and the stress of the moment, then you'll be able to do a lot better. But you have to know that it just doesn't go away. It just doesn't. And like you said a little bit earlier in the conversation, it's like a sign that you're in the right place.
Yeah. And you can be proud of that, you know. If you're able to carry that and stand up straight, man, that's a beautiful thing.
And I think that's when I say to the white belts, hey, you need to compete. I think like you're helping me really understand this. Like I keep saying it because I know it's for their development that they need it. Some people really misinterpret me, man. I think maybe some people really think that I care about winning. Man, I can't say to what extent I don't care about winning. I truly care about that growth for you. And when I say to people, you need to compete, those who shy away from this, there's a cop-out that they're maybe not realizing is really present in their life. And they have to overcome it. I'm not asking you to compete always. Really, I don't care. I want you to have that one experience. And man, you're going to remember that experience for the rest of your life. I'm telling you. Your first competition, if it's your only, you will remember it for the rest of your life. And you can't tell me that there isn't growth in that moment for you. So that's what I hope for everybody that comes through these doors.
But you got to set yourself up for growth. If you compete and you have a shit attitude, you know, right? If you compete and you're empathetic and all that, and you have a shit attitude and you're acting like you don't care or like you're better than this or like it doesn't matter, you're not gonna get any growth. You know?
Absolutely.
You gotta set yourself up for growth. You gotta step in there. I don't even know if like with intention is the right thing. Like you gotta step in there and like be willing to like discover a part of yourself that you might not know or something. Like
Yeah, I mean, here's the intention.
it's kind of a mysterious thing, honestly.
It's so nebulous. Here's the intention. I'll give you like a couple of contrasting examples. One scenario, you put your name on the paper, you're about to compete. You don't take your training seriously, you don't do nothing, you show up that day, you win. You know, you didn't take your training seriously. Why? You didn't take your training seriously because if you did and you lost,
Yeah, you would have had a scapegoat.
yeah. And that's the real lesson. I don't care that you won. Good for you that you won.
Yeah.
But you deep down inside, unless you decided, okay, I'm going to take on this challenge, I'm going to do everything that I can to accept this challenge, and I'm going to do my best. And then you lose. That's where you're going to have your growth. Where you're going to have to go back, you're going to have to look, and you're going to have to say, okay, what happened? And does it matter? Did I experience growth? What do I need to work on? That's the best case scenario for somebody.
It's so hard to, because here's another scenario, is you sign up and you take it so seriously.
Yes.
Like you try to just impose your own will on everything, your training, your diet, your sleep, and everything. Every time something doesn't go exactly the way you do, you go into an existential crisis, you start dumping on yourself, you know, like you're super hard on yourself. And then you go to train and you win or you don't win, but you don't get the same growth, you know?
Exactly. And I was going to try and contrast with a crappier example, but yours is way better. That also is part of the experience. You doing that, again, win or lose, it doesn't matter. That's what you're supposed to take is how did I act into the lead up and how do I feel? And if that's your MO, if you're the guy who before a tournament is like, I need to know, you're a white belt and you're like, I need to figure out all of these scenarios. It's like, dude, the truth is you can't.
It's almost an exercise in trusting the process and letting go.
100. Again, you always nail it. Yeah,
It's
is
funny
that?
because I don't even really understand what I'm saying when it's like I'm trying to be like, is that what that is? Like,
Well, because
it's such a mysterious thing, really.
you can't know everything as a white belt. Like, you can't know everything as a black belt. Like, you literally can't know everything. There are certain things that are in your control. You can either choose to focus on the things that are in your control and manage those things to the best that you can and accept the result that you're going to get and do what's asked of you. Nothing
Yeah.
more, nothing less. If you can do that,
Do what's asked of you, I think is so powerful. Because that's like, you're not trying to impose your will anymore. You're just showing up and you're doing what is asked of you, right? That's like, that's not you anymore. It's you serving the situation, right?
yes.
See the like
Yes,
slight
absolutely.
the slight
One
difference
is
there?
ego, and one leads to whether an ego boost or an ego destruction.
Yeah.
In the first scenario, and then in the other case, there is room for growth because you're leaving it not
You're
outside of
open.
you, but you're open.
You're open to discovering what you need to do instead of you thinking that you know what's best for you.
Amazing.
Right?
Yes. I wonder if anybody understands us, Max. I mean, it
don't
makes
know,
sense
bro.
to me.
I don't even
I don't
understand
even. I don't even know where we are. I'm upset. Maybe these mics are not even working. Actually, maybe that's the best case scenario. It's just like people can just
All right.
stare at us all day.
All right. Well,
I
you
feel like
wanna-
you're feeling like it's not gonna work. I believe, Max. I don't know what it is. You see, this is a great analogy for our whole conversation.
Yeah.
There's a green light here.
Well, yours is red.
Sorry. There's a green light on this side.
I have one here too.
Okay? And there's a red light on the other
Chewy!
side. Chewy! There's a green light.
He's trying to figure out, do I come in? Do I not come
That's
in?
the best. So that's amazing. That is actually like a sign. But here, Max,
Yeah.
there's a green light on one side of this apparatus,
Yeah,
and there's a red light on the other.
Well, there's
And
a red
now-
light on this one.
All right, so we're
and the
doubling
fucking
up.
blue
I
things
get
are
it.
going
We're
up and
doubling
down.
up on the red lights. But here's the truth: we can either choose to focus on the green light and hope that the outcome will be what it was and it was meant to be, or we can believe in the destructive nature of the red light. I, in this conversation, am choosing that everyone will have heard our words through this microphone, through the green light, and not the red light. And if I'm wrong, this episode will never see the light of day. Max, let's call it and let's find out the truth.
All right.
Here we go, baby! Green light, green light, green light.
It didn't fucking work, dog. We're going to have to do it
You
again
never
tomorrow.
know.